A very good morning to all our live viewers. We are into the first match of the Super Saturday. It's the all important semi final of One Champion Elite Season 43 Game Changers taking on PFH Falcons. Coin toss fell in favor of Game Changers and they have opted to bat first. Pawan and RM56, the two openers out in the center for the Game Changers. That's a poor delivery from Shobit, drifting down the leg that came at a very awkward height for the wicket keeper, so can't blame him for that. White plus 4, 5 extras for the Game Changers. This is not a good start for Shobit. He's already gone for 9 and he's only balled a single legal delivery in this over. RM56 and Pawan, two left-handers right at the top for the Game Changers, very similar to the Indian cricket team where Abhishek Sharma and Vaibhav Suryavanshi are at the top for them in the Zimbabwe tour. Well, once again drifted down the leg. Fight says the umpire. Score moves to 21 with that. RM56. 27 matches for him, 665 runs. Very healthy average of 33.25. Strike rate touch under 100. 98.96 to be precise for RM56, and his partner is Pawan. 41 matches for him, 1552 runs with a very healthy average. More than healthy, I must say, very good average 57.48 and strike rate 117.40. In the meantime, another couple of runs for the Game Changers. They're taking one for the throw. This is good piece of running between the wicket between these two. They have put on a show up until now. They have got 23 on the board. They have got the team on to a flyer. Once again, played with the soft hands and they are through for a very quick single. This is good communication between these two. They're completing the quick singles with ease at the moment, applying the pressure on the fielding team. They know this is a semi-final. We're playing for everything. The winner will be advanced to the final, and the team which loses this match will be back home. Another wide from Shobit K. He's been wavered in this over. He's been all over place. He's balled everywhere. This time with outside our stump driven, but straight to the cover point fielder. That's a dot ball. Shobit is proved out to be an expensive resource. He's already gone for 14. Usually a good bowler, but he's gone for runs. In fact, he's balled too many extras too at the same time in this over. This time on the body, punched off the back foot straight to short mid wicket fielder, but they'll still fetch a single, a quick one. Good running between the wicket between these two. 133 matches for Shobit, 74 wickets, economy 7.62, best figures of 4 for 27 for Shobit. Into his first over, he's gone for 15. Last ball of the over, once again on the pads, played with the soft hands down to mid on for a single. This is excellent piece of running between the wicket and an expensive over from Shobit as well. 16 runs coming off that second overs. Game changers off to a flyer in the all important semi final of One Champion Elite season 42. 27 without any loss after two. Well, what better start can you ask in the semi final? These two haven't attacked that much, but they have been very effective. 14 of 8 deliveries for Pawan, whereas 6 of 4 deliveries for RM56. They have come out with a very positive approach. Too many extras so far for the Falcons. They need to keep things tight. They need to contain in the power play. Well, that's a slow one, but that did not land it. A low full toss. Pawan plays it with the soft hands round to mid off for a single. Well, they're taking singles at ease in the inner circle. Loud and early call from the striker is making it look easy. Well, drifted down the leg, beautifully clipped, but there's a fielder behind. They'll take couple of runs. This is beautiful piece of leg work between these two. They're running very quickly. Well, there was a fielder behind in the deep mid wicket region. The ball went towards his left. By the time he comes to the ball and gets the ball back, both the batters very quick between the wicket, completes the second with ease. So sweeper cover and deep mid wicket, two fielders out on the boundary. A very strong field on the onside for Mayank Chauhan, who opened the bowling for Falcons. Once again, low full toss on the pads, played with the soft hand down to mid on for a quick single. Understandably, Mayank has got four fielders on the onside. Fine leg, fine leg, short square leg, then a deep mid wicket and mid on inside the circle. Well, this time Pawan came down the track, got to the pitch of the ball, beautifully lifts it straight as an arrow over the head of the bowler. That ball trickled to the boundary. This time played with the soft hands of the back foot. Length was dragged back by the bowler Mayank Chauhan, and Pawan very smartly rocks on the back foot, plays with the very soft hands and threw for a single. He was well aware of the inner circle where the fielders are standing right at the edge. So did exceedingly well after getting a boundary. Last ball of the over. Once again on the pads, clipped away. Straight to short square leg, but still they'll take a single. Another good over for the batting team. Game changers. They continue their good work inside the power play. They are 37 without any loss after 3. What a start these two have given. They have taken the team off to a flyer in the very 3 overs. This is the all important semi final. Everything to play for. Winner of this match will be advanced to the final. Game changers moving along very nicely. 37 without any loss after 3. 37. They haven't lost a wicket, but they have got to a very solid start. Well, Shobit, after being very expensive in his first over, will continue. His captain showing faith on him. Once again on the pads, clipped away with the soft hands, and they'll take a single inside the circle. Well, what can I say about the running between the wicket? Right on the point. Well, they are creating pressure at the bowling team. More fielders on the onside. Now long on and a deep fine leg outside the circle. Apart from them, short square leg and short mid wicket as well inside the circle. So very strong onside feel. Understandably, he tries to angle one on the pads. That ball drifts down the leg, and the umpire says wide. These 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 are not good tactics from Falcons. They should have operated differently. They should have looked to ball just touch under outside of stump and planted a fielder on the offside. In the meantime, once again drifted on the pad. This time, Pawan easily picks one over square leg and couple of bounces before it hits the boundary skirtings. Well, these are easy pickings at the moment. Batters are scoring at will. I'm forced to say that in the very fourth over, and I'm saying that the batters are scoring at will because Falcons are not up with their plans. This is poor execution and poor planning, I must say. In fact, on the pads to a subcontinental batters are too easy. These two very strong on the pads. This time changing the angle, starting from the body and the ball leaving the right hander. Much better, but still both the batters running through for a very quick single. Once again, Pawan immediately after scoring a boundary at the very first ball plays with the very soft hands in the point region and through for a single. This is what the good batters do. This time driven on the up. Well, they decides against the single on that occasions. So finally a dot ball for the Falcons. They need more of this. They need to be more punctual with their bowling. They need to bowl outside option in order to challenge the batter for the outside edge. At the moment, they are not doing so. Length delivery, leaving the left-hander. This is much better angle for Shobit, as I said. Challenging the batter on the outside edge. This is the right area to bowl. Right area, right angle for Shobit. So last ball of the over. Once again drifted down the leg. So that will be the second wide of the over. Well, inside the 4 overs, we are and already 9 extras have been conceded by Falcons. Once again drifted down the leg, a misfield from the wicketkeeper. He failed to collect the ball cleanly, and both the batters seizing on the opportunity and running through for a single. So wide plus one, another two for the game changers. Now the tally of the wides goes to 11. They ball 11 wides inside the 4 overs. Well, this is not acceptable stuff. Well, this time looking for the big shot, gets a leading edge. Fielder coming underneath and puts it down. Well. Pawan there would have had his heart in his mouth. It was in the air for a very long time. Mid fielder called for it, got underneath that one, but that ball bursting through his hands, then hitting his thigh and rolling through. Pawan gets a lifeline. In fact, he'll get a single too. So 11 runs of that over, and the opportunity gone down begging. 48 without any loss. Game changers after 4. You cannot ask for a, you cannot ask for any better start in the semi-final for the game changers. Well, there's a change in the bowling attack. In fact, there's a change in bowling tactics as well. So as the spinners right arm off break, Deepti Ranjan now into the attack. 328 matches for Deepti Ranjan, so plenty of experience behind him. 184 wickets as well. Economy touch over 7, 7.07. Best figures of 5 for 18. He's a very quality bowler, Deepti Ranjan. In way early than he would have liked. In fact, he is operating inside the power play now. We'll be bowling the fifth over. We'll be bowling at Pawan, who's got a lifeline at the last ball of the previous over. Deepti Ranjan starts off with a very full ball attacking the stumps. Pawan does it well to keep it out. It's a single down to short mid wicket. How will these two go against the spinner? Well, that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty from Deepti Ranjan. On the length, skids through RM 56. Gets an outside edge down to short third. They went for a quick single and they'll get it. 50 is up for the game changers. 50 without any loss. They've gone to a milestone in a flash. They've got to 50 in just 4.3 overs at the very healthy scoring rate of 11.11. Current run rate over 11 for the game changers in the all important semi final. Both the openers coming up with the goods when it mattered the most. They've got the team to a very solid start. Slightly dragged back length, punched off the back foot, wide of mid off. They'll get a single. Good piece of batting this from Pawan. He's taken the aerial route occasionally, but he's played well all along the carpet as well. He's waited on the scoring opportunities whenever the ball drifted on his pad. He's got it away. Apart from that, he's, take, he's taken likings to the very full deliveries as well. Back of a length, punched away, straight to the covers for a single. This is good from this both the openers, Pawan and RM 56. They're milking the singles with ease. Good over from Deepti Ranjan so far. Only four coming off that one. Last ball of the over. Can he close out the over nicely? Yes, he does. He closes out with a dot ball. Pawan there letting the ball go through. Just having a good look at that one. So super over from Deepti Ranjan. A good comeback from Falcons. Four coming off that one. But still a very good start for the game changers as they are 52 without any loss after 5 overs. Well, let me tell you, this is a 19 over match. PFH Falcons will be batting 19 overs in the chase, whereas on the other hand, Game Changers will be only playing 18. Another introduction in the bowling attack. Now Akita Dani with the ball into the attack for the Falcons. Coming around the wicket. Aki coming to the overs. So it will only be an 18 over batting for the game changers. On the other hand, Falcons will be getting the 19 overs to chase the target down. Game changers coming 5 minutes late to the match, and they have been penalized by getting their over reduced. So their overs have been reduced to 18. Well, that ball kept low. That ball kept real low. Pawan did exceedingly well to get bat onto that one. Aki, hands on the heads. He know that ball was crashing into middle and off. This time, shot pulled away, looking for the single, sent back, and a run out chance gone down. Well, Aki, if he would have collected the ball cleanly and dislodged the bail, that would have been curtains for RM56. He was looking for the quick single, but Pawan there was on the back foot, denied the single. Well, RM56 was halfway there. There was no single there. Well, looking for the two run there, Pawan, but it was never there. Driven on the up, down to long off, looking for the two, but they were never two there. In the end, they have settled in for a single. Spinners have dragged things back significantly for the bowling team Falcons. Akhil now, the other spinner, to bowl the final over of the power play, only concedes three so far. Only a delivery remaining in this over. Can he get out of the over? So last ball of the power play, 55 on the board for the game changers. Akhi to Pawan. Pawan comes down the track but plays with the soft hand, doesn't get the ball past the bowler. So it will only be a dot ball to close out the over. A good over, super over from Aki. He only concedes three from his first. Game changers after the end of power play, after 6 overs, 55 without any loss. A solid start for the game changers in the semi final. Deepthi Ranjan to continue. Starts off with a back of lane delivery. RM56 punching off the back foot into the covers and through for a very quick single. Now field is well spread out as the field restrictions are done. A very strange field for Deepthi Ranjan. That's a good delivery on the length, attacking the stumps. Played straight back to the bowler all along the carpet. He's got a deep point and a very wide long off. Deepthi Ranjan, apart from that, he's got long on and deep mid wicket and a deep fine leg as well. This time played off the back foot, straight down to point fielder for a single. 30 of 23 for Pawan, whereas run a ball 16 for RM56. Pawan coming all guns blazing. Initially, now have slowed down significantly against the spinners. Well, both the batters taking no chances against the spinners. Once again, driven on the up, but this time the short cover was well inside the circle to cut a single. So it will be a dot ball. This is good from both the spinners. PFH Falcons, they have dragged back things nicely. This is good passage of run for them. Boundaries have dried up in last 3 overs. This is good thing for Falcons. They were all over the place with the new ball. Well, the fast bowlers with the new ball haven't bowled up to their standards, but spinners now doing well for Falcons. Well, walked away on the onside, plenty of open spaces in between long on and mid wicket. So he gets it right between in that one, and Pawan will fetch couple of runs. Smart piece of batting to close out the over. Still a good one for the bowling team. Only 5 coming off that one after 7 overs, 60 without any loss. Well, there's a delivery remaining in this over. The second ball was given dead ball by the official. So a change in the scoring. There was a scoring glitch there, a mistake from the scorer that's been rectified. So an over ends up with a dot ball. So only 5 coming off that one. Score remains on 60 after 7 over. Both the batters take batting very cautiously against the spinner. They batted aggressively against the fast bowlers, making full use of the field restrictions. But once the spinners are in the attack for the Falcons, both the batters only rotating strike at max, and they have played good amount of dot balls as well. So no boundary in last 3 overs for the game changers. Still they are scoring just under 8, just under 9 in fact. Well, that was a low full toss looking to drive straight. RM56 hits the timber at the non-striker end. So the ball stopping there itself. So it's a dot ball. That was a very good looking shot and a well timed shot from RMC 56, but it's a dot ball. Good passage of play for Falcons. They have tied up both the batters. Well, down on the knee, looking for the big shot, doesn't get the elevation. Ball moves along the carpet down to me long on for a single. Akhil operating around the wicket for the left-handers. Deepti Rajan and Akhil both off spinners, but two very different kind of bowlers. Akhil, who bowls slow through the air, relies on his spinning ability, likes to flight the delivery, and a very high arm release for him. Totally opposite to the Deepti Rajan, who's got a very slingy action, slightly low arm, and just to get that zip through the surface, he balls that kind of trajectory. Another dot ball. RM56 cutting off the back foot, trying to get that ball in between gully and point, but doesn't get it at that moment. Once again, tossed up, looking for the big shot, gets it wide of long on and beats the deep fielder towards his left. That's a welcome boundary for the game changers. As I said, previous 3 overs were very quiet ones, so something has to come. So a charge from RM56, slightly overpitched, looking to get the drift and turn off the surface Aki, but ends up balling a very full delivery, and RM56 hits it wide of long on for a boundary. This time cut away off the back foot straight to cover point. They'll get a quick single there. A good over for the batting team as they get 7 of that one. After 8 overs, the game changer 67 without any loss. What a start this has been for the batting team. They have won the toss and opted to bat first, looking to put runs on the board in the all important semi final. Another change in the bowling attack. So now they are back with the pace. So medium pacer Karthikesh now into the attack. 156 matches for Karthikesh. So good amount of experience behind him. 84 wickets, economy 8.34. Best figures of 5 for 16 for Karthikesh. Coming over the wicket for the left-handers. Starts off with a full delivery on the stumps. RM56 test book stuff from him. Gets it front foot in line of ball beautifully, comes on the front foot and drives it all along the carpet down to long off for a single. Very full. Width was there. Outside Austin lifts it over extra cover. He was heading against the wind, so that ball will not go all the way. But it will be good enough for these two to come back for the second run. They called early and they gets it in the end. Sweep a cover there. Does well, but still not good enough to contain and keep this batter to one. Score moves to 70 with that couple of runs. Well, that's a poor delivery, drifting down the left, beautifully swept. Will that be the deep square leg fielder? Yes, it does. That's these are easy pickings for Pawan. Well, Karthikesh there, feeding him on the pads. He gets into a very good position in a flash there. Pawan gets it fine enough to go for a boundary. Now a change of field. Deep square leg fielder goes into fine leg region and a short square leg now in play. Once again drifting down the leg. Played with the soft hands. They are looking for the second run. They are taking one on the throw, one for the throw, and they'll complete the second with ease. This is excellent running between the wicket, taking on the throw and completing the second run on a throw. So they take one on the throw, played with the straight bat that could have been stopped by Karthikesh in his follow through, but doesn't get down enough. So that ball going under his fingers and for a single down to long on. A good over for the batting team as they get 11 of that one. Last ball of the over, in fact, last ball from this end. Once again, very full. Well, RM56 did exceedingly well to keep that one out, but cannot get a single or a run on that one. A good over for the game changers as they get 10 of that one after 9 overs, 77 without any loss. We are halfway through in the all important semi final, and the game changers, after winning the toss, opting to bat first, are 77 without any loss after 9. Another introduction in the bowling attack. Akash Mehta with his right arm medium pace. A very good shout there from the bowling team, but the batter there, Pawan, in fact, gets an outside edge, in fact, the inside edge. So, no point on LBW appeal there. Good umpiring. This from the one champion officials. They have done a very good job throughout the tournament, throughout the seasons. Spot on with with their decisions, both the umpires. A misfield, yes and a no. Chance for a run out. Pawan there not interested in that single. A slight misfield. Kartikesh will continue. Pawan moves into 40s. 43 of 34 for him. Whereas runner ball 28 on the other end for RM56. Both the batters well set. Now we'll look to explode. Well, that's a beautiful looking cover drive. Just wide of that covers. And it will have enough legs to beat that sweeper cover as well. That's a boundary. A much needed one for the game changers. They've slowed down after the first overs. Now we'll look to again gather momentum as both the batters well set. Kartikesh is proved out expensive. He's given away 17 in his 1.3 overs so far. He needs to make a very strong comeback on the pads. Played with the soft hand, so it will be single down to short mid wicket. This is batsmanship of the highest order from Pawan. Every time after scoring a boundary, he's rotated the strike at the very next ball. Is happy to go on the other end after getting a boundary. This is what the good batters do. Very full. Well, RM56 was lining up for hitting a big shot, but that ball was very full into the block hole. So nothing much he could have done. He'll get only a single down to short covers. Last ball of the over. 9 runs coming off the over so far. Well, batter looking for the big shot on that occasion. Did he get an inside edge? We have to wait for the umpire's signal. Ball moves to fine leg fielder. Yes, it's given leg buys. So hitting the pad and moving to the fine leg. So they'll get a single for that one. 10 runs coming off that over. Game changers. 89 without any loss after 11 overs. They have final 7 overs in the tank. Game changers. They'll look to accelerate from here on. 89 without any loss after 11 overs. Akash Mehta will continue. He's bowled well in his first over, only giving away 2 runs, and he's bowled 4 dot in his previous over. Once again starts off with a beauty, very full delivery, coming over the wicket for the left-hander and getting the ball to shape away with the angle, bowling at a very decent pace and a good channel, getting full value for his good deliveries. Mehta, once again, very full in terms of length, driven on the up, down to long off for a single. With that single, 90 is up for the game changers. Aerial, but that ball landing just short of that fielder. Well, they have come back for two. There was never a second run there, but still these two quick enough to get back for the second run. Fielder there in the deep, in the long on region, could have done a better effort. First, he could have catched that one, but did not get underneath the ball. That ball landing in front of him, he should have judged the trajectory of the ball much better. Effort was required. Once again in the air, this time it will be wide of that long on fielder. So they'll come back for two. With that couple of runs, 50 is up for Pawan. 51 of 40 deliveries. He's played his part. Batted very aggressively initially, then got slowed down. Now once again back in his boundary scoring ways. 51 of 40 deliveries with the help of 6 boundaries. Strike rate 137.50. In fact, 127.50 for Pawan. Well, driven square, but doesn't find the gap. Straight to the point fielder. That's a dot ball to close out the over. An even over. A good one for both the teams. Only 6 runs coming off that one. Game changers 95 without any loss after 12. Aki Thadani back into the attack. After good couple of overs from Aki, he was taken off. Now back into the attack. 2 overs, 10 for none so far for Aki. Now into his third over. Will ball the 13th. Will be bowling at RM56. Driven just wide of that short cover fielder. They are looking for two. They'll get couple of runs. This is good. A bit of running between the wicket between these two. They are charging for the first run, putting the pressure on the D fielder, and they're getting the second run as well. Couple of runs to start off the over. Cut off the back foot, but will not clear short third. Who was right at the edge. but still enough for both the batters to get that single. Score moves to 98 with that. Well, the game changers closing on a landmark. They look to get their scoreboard into three figures in this over. Well, it's beautifully lifted over short cover. Sweeper cover fielder will cut that off. So it will be couple of runs for Pavan. With that 100 is up for the game changers. 100 in good time. It just took 12.3 hours for them to get to 100. Another change of field there. They've got a very short cover point. Well, that time Pawan came down the track, got to the pitch of the ball, but drives it all along the carpet down to long off for a single. Well, pulled away there, but there's a fielder behind. Will they look for second? Throw is good, but at the wrong end. He should have gone at the wicketkeeper end. So it will be couple of runs for RM56. He pulled nicely towards the right of deep mid wicket. This time tossed up, looking for that lofted shot, gets an outside edge and a beautiful catch behind the wicket by the wicket keeper to get rid of RM56. So finally a wicket falls for the game changers at the very last ball of the over. Chandader, Chandan there behind the timber makes no mistake to get rid of RM56. So Aki with the very first wicket of the match, that too coming at the last ball of the 13th over. A good partnership, 103 stand, but now broken. So Falcons breaking through the partnership and getting rid of RM56. 103 for the loss of one after 13 overs. Well, the bowling team, PFH Falcons, will be mighty delighted with that breakthrough. Akash Mehta to continue starts off with a Yorker. Pawan does exceedingly well to get his bat down in time. That ball, after hitting the inside half of the bat, moves into the square leg. No one there inside the circle, so they'll come back for the second run as well. New batter in is Akhil Reddy in at number 3 for the game changers, but he'll be at the non-striker end. This is good stuff from Akash Mehta. This time, Pawan advances, Tried to get to the pitch of the ball, gets it on a low full toss but hits it all along the carpet down to long off for a single. Now the strike is with the right hander. First right hander into the match, Akhil Reddy. 409 matches for Akhil Reddy, 3,432 runs, averaging over 19.28. Strike decent strike rate 104.44 for Akhil Reddy in at number 3 in at 14th over. Another Yorker there from Akash Mehta, played it on the onside with the angle there and threw for a single. This is good piece of running between the wicket between these two. In fact, all the batters in the game changers will run quick between the wickets. That's the feature of their battings. Well, another Yorker there. That ball going nowhere there, but still they'll get a single of that one. Well, what has happened there? Pawan drilled one. In fact, it was Akhil who drilled one. Down to short mid wicket, was well inside the circle, but still gets a single. Well, that's a poor delivery from Akash Mehta, drifting down the leg, and umpire says wide. 57 of 45 for Pawan. He'll search for boundaries from here on. Once again played with the soft hand. Short cover, very very close in the inner circle, but still they get a single. Both the batters very quick between the wicket, so they are taking the chances. They're looking for boundaries, but whenever it's a good delivery, they are looking for singles as well. So this is good tactics from the game changers. Well, hit hard, but gets just past the bowler in his follow through. Got a hand to it, but cannot hold on to one. So that's a single to close out the over. After 14 overs, 112 for the loss of one. The game changers. So Akil Tadani will be the first bowler to bowl out. 3 overs, 18 for 1 for Akil so far. He'll bowl out. Bowling his fourth over. He's bowled well up until now. So this will be the final over. Leading edge fielder there came in. He should have stayed there and could have got it, but he came in couple of steps inside and that ball goes over his head. So good running between the wicket. They'll get two for that one. Fielder there in the point could have done better. Once again very full. Once again it leading edge. This time the point fielder does well. Well, a throw, a misfield from the wicket keeper allows the batter to come back for the second. Well, this is excellent piece of running between the between these two. They look to run at the every possible opportunity to score runs. They'll run at everything, these two. Very slow through the air this time. Akil Reddy early into the shot gets beaten on the outside edge. Well, that's a dot ball. Good result for the Falcons. 116 for the loss of one after 14.3 overs. Well, this time the batter coming down the track, missing the ball completely. So does the wicketkeeper behind the timber. Well, he's done well up until now, the wicketkeeper, but this time could not get it done for Akil Thadani, who deceives the batter nicely. That came at a very good height for the wicketkeeper and very close to the stump as well. You need to take those opportunities you cannot afford. Well, there's a misfield in the deep as well. That should have been maximally couple of runs for Akil Reddy and game changers, but the misfield lets the ball go through right between his legs. Got a hand to it, but still not good enough. That ball crashing into the boundary fence. No chance on the second attempt for the deep fielder. Well, that's a welcome boundary for Akil Reddy and first one for him. He moves to double figures with that. 10. Now he moves to 10 of just 7 deliveries. Akil Reddy is a very tall batter, very capable of hitting those big shots. This time tries a very different shot, tries to go over the point fielder, reverse sweep attempted, but no connection with the ball. So dot ball to close out the over. 8 runs coming off that one after 15 over. Game changers. 120 for the loss of one. Final 3 overs remaining in the tank for game changers. Now Akash Mehta to bowl out. 3 overs 17 for none for Akash Mehta. He'll be the second bowler to bowl out. Akash Mehta. No wicket so far for him, but still bowled very good. He's conceded under 6 runs per over up until now. 3 overs 17 for none for him. This will be his last over of the spell. Well, Pawan moved early there, exposing all his 3 stumps and hitting in the fine leg. But there's a fielder behind in the deep, so it will only be a single. Idea was right, but execution wasn't there on that occasion. He should have been playing more finer to get a boundary, but played straight in the hands of the deep fielder there. It's a single. Well, Akil Reddy there tried the same, moved early, tried to access that fine leg region, gets no connection with the ball, so it's a single. Once again, leg by given by the umpire. Score moves to 122 for the loss of one. These two batters now struggling to get boundaries. They're trying hard. Well, a leading edge this time. Again put down. Well, fielder there got underneath the ball very nicely. Tried to take a reverse cup there as it was over his head. Right technique to go, but execution there not up to the task. That should have been second one for the Falcons, but Pawan gets a second lifeline. Well, a low full toss gets the outside edge there. Pawan Reddy looking to drive in the cover gets the outside edge. Result is the ideal scenario for the game changers in that one. Pawan, in fact, Akil Reddy there was looking to get that ball in between short Covers and sweeper cover gets a very healthy outside edge. No chance for the short third fielder. That ball raced very quickly off the surface. A length delivery hit hard on the up. Beats the cover fielder towards his left, who got an hand to it, but it will be couple of runs for Akil Reddy. Good piece of fielding in the covers and good backup by the sweeper cover fielder as well. So it will be couple of runs for the game changers, and their score moves to 129 now. Last ball of the over. Well, the batter there moved early, looking for that scoop shot, completely exposing his all three stumps. Got no connection with the ball, but still fetch a single due to a misfield from the wicketkeeper. So a good over for the batting team game changers as they get 10 of that one. So 130 on the board, 130 for the loss of one after 16 overs. 130, 130. Deepti Ranjan now back into the attack. Ill ball is third. So two bowlers completing the full quota of 4 overs. Now Deepti Ranjan back into the attack to ball his third and will be bowling the 17th over of the match. Al batter moved early there, once again looking to hit in the vacant square leg region. Gets nowhere near the middle of the bat. In fact, gets no bat on that one. That one crashing onto his pads. Appeal there from the bowler but denied by the match official as that ball was clearly drifting down the leg. So single to start off the over. Well, looking for the big shot. Pawan completely miscues one. They're looking for two. In fact, they'll get couple of runs. Good running between the wickets between these two. That ball was in the air for a very long time. Pawan 64 of 50 for him. He'll look to close out the innings on high. He's played well up until now. Once again, he looked for the big shot but doesn't get out of the middle and not enough legs to go all the way as well. Good fielding and good sharp throw. Very close to the stumps on the keeper's end on that occasion, but it will only be a single. In fact, it will only be a couple of runs for the game changers as their score moves to 135 now. 5 runs already of the over. Pawan still on strike. Well, what has happened there? It looks like wicketkeeper has hurt himself, so it will be wide plus one, 2 runs, but that's a poor bowling from Deepti Ranjan. Player needs to have a medical attention there. Misfield 170, 137 for one after 16.3. Slight delay in the proceedings as the wicketkeeper has hurt himself. Play resumes. Well, Pawan there coming down the track, looking to go downtown, gets a very thick outside edge. That ball raced away in between point and short third fielder. Well, the fielder gives it a chase, but only to get the ball back to the wicket keeper. That's a boundary, welcome boundary for the game changers. They are now inch closer to that 150 mark. Well, they have runs on the board now. They don't have humongous amount of runs, but they have runs to play with. Well, looking for the big shot, gets a leading edge. That ball lands in a no man area. Both the fielder went after the ball there. Well, no one at the baller end there. A throw came at the baller end, and they have ran 3 runs for that one. Ball went inside the circle in the covers, and the batter ran 3 runs. Well, that's a very difficult task, but the game changers have done it. That's very poor in the field from the Falcons. A good over for the game changers. 15 runs coming off that one. 145 for 1 after 17. Mayank Chauhan to bowl the final over of this inning. 2 overs, 21 for none from Mayank Chauhan so far. 145 for 1 game changers. Well, he hits it well, but doesn't get the elevation on that occasion. Pawan holds out in the deep. A good catch there. Ashish Malik there in the deep. Safe as you like. That ball was curving away with the wind for Ashish Malik, but he does exceedingly well. So finally, the batter dismissed. Pawan, the man dismissed. He played his hand, got 73 of just 54 balls with the help of 7 boundaries. Strike rate 135.19 for Pawan. He's done his job. Now it's the captain who's stepping in for the game changers. D9 marking his guard. 75 matches for D9. 824 runs, averaging just under 19. Strike rate healthy. 118.39. Very capable batter of hitting that long ball. Gets in a low full toss looking for the big shot. Gets it out of the toe. Well, a misfield in the deep mid wicket region. Fielder there overran the ball. Hence allows the batter enough time to come back for that second one. We have seen in the past that D9 very capable of hitting the big shots. This time gets under the line of ball, hits it in the square leg. Fielder there in the deep does exceedingly well while moving towards his left, but it will be easily couple of runs for D9. This is good from D9, looking to use the pace of Mayank Chauhan. So far, a good over from Mayank. D9 coming down the track, hitting one flat, but straight to the long off fielder who does no mistake there. Well, what have you done there? Baller there, thinking that there's a backup in play and letting the ball go through, not taking that throw. No one behind that ball, so they have ran couple of extra runs as well. They're the game changers. So 150 is up with that 3 runs. 152 for the loss of 2 after 17.4. Last 2 balls in the tank. Hit away. There is a fielder behind who collects the ball on a bounce. Will they come back for two? Will they take one for the throw? No, they won't. So they'll settle in with a single. So the strike will be with the D9. He'll play the last ball of the innings. 153 on the board. How will be the game changers ending their innings? The captain on strike, 7 of 3 for D9. Well shuffled, got inside the line of the ball. Well, he's down and out. Well, Akhil Reddy there looking to get to the strike, but that was never there. So it's a run out. Akhil Reddy getting run out there. So a wicket for PFHL Falcons. Nandakishore Neely is the new batter in, but he'll be at the non-striker end. D9 hits it away on the onside. A slight misfield from the short mid-wicket fielder. Well, that's been given run out. D9 was well short of his ground, so it will only be a single. A good sharp throw from the short mid-wicket fielder after a very little misfield. Deepti Ranjar there, so they get a bye at the very last ball. In fact, they get a single at the very last ball. So 155 is where the game changers have ended up their innings. So 156 will be the target in the all important semi final for PFH Falcons. They will be getting 19 overs to bat. Welcome back to the chase. Falcons chasing 156. Cut away. Will that be cut off by Sweeper cover? He's moving quickly towards his left, but not quick enough. That ball comes first. That's a boundary to close out the over. That was a very good over up until that point by Akil Reddy, but Sohan Lath there spoils the party for him. But still not a bad over. So 5 runs coming off that one. A steady start for the batting team. Well, the game changers, they have batted only 18 overs. Their one over was reduced as they came late to the match. On the other hand, on the other hand, PFH Falcons will be biting 19 overs, so they have 19 overs in hand to chase 156, 5 without any loss after one. Chandan and Sohan Lath, the two openers out in the center for Falcons, whereas Akil Reddy opened with the ball. Now FB to share the new ball alongside Akil Reddy, and the medium pacer, right arm medium pacer, ready to come over the wicket. 44 matches for FB, 49 wickets, economy 7.76, best figures of 5 for 16 for FB. Starts off with a full delivery outside off stump. Chandan there drives on the up, but straight to the short cover. That's a dot ball. 87 matches for Chandan, 1375 runs, averaging over 20. Strike rate very healthy, 128.03. This time it's been given wide, way outside off stump. Chandan there chasing for that one. He should have left that alone. A super start for Sohan Lath at the non-striker. He's got the boundary at the very first ball he faced. Well, another wide there. Well, losing control on the swing on that occasion. Bowler, he should have started on the stumps. Ball is shaping away nicely. Wind flowing very nicely, so that will help the bowler. It's just he need to control that one and start more from the stumps. FB, this time a better line length, better channel there. Played with the soft hand Chandan and threw for a single. With that, score moves to 7. Now on strike is Sohan Lath, who's got himself going with a boundary. 138 matches for Sohan Lath, 1561 runs, averaging 16.43, strike rate 106.92 for Sohan Lath. Two very good batters at the top, completely opposite to what the game changers had. Two left-handers on the top, and Falcons have got two right-handers on the top. Well, that's beautifully played by Sohan. Well, he's continuing the very way. Got the boundary at the very first ball and got the boundary at the very second ball as well. With there from FB, and Sohan Lath cuts it beautifully in between gully and short third for a boundary. Well, no better way to announce yourself at the batting crease than hitting a boundary in the very first ball you faces. Strike rate of 400 for Sohan Lath now is raised away to 8 of just 2 deliveries. Once again, way outside off stump, that's been given wide as well. LFB has been wavered in this over so far. He's bowled couple of wides as well up until now. In fact, he's bowled 3 wides so far. Driven on the up towards the left of short covers, and they are through for a single in a flash. This is excellent piece of running between the wicket between these two. Well, an attempted Yorker there from FB. He executed well as well, but Chandan did well to get his bat down in time. Walks it away on the onside for a single. 10 runs so far of the over. Still a delivery to be ball. Falcons started off steadily, only scoring 5 in their first. Now get 10 in their second over so far. Now another wide down the leg this time. Score moves to 16. Required rate just over 8 for Falcons. That's pretty much manageable if they keep wicket in hands and score well in the power play. They'll find themselves in a commanding position in this run chase in the all important semi final. Mid on fielder there slipped while charging towards the ball, so it will be easy single in the end for both the batters to close out the over. A good over for the batting team as they get 12 of it, 17 without any loss after two Falcons. Akhil Reddy to continue. 1 over 5 for none for Akhil Reddy. He's bowled well in his first over. Now back for his second over. He'll continue. Third man and sweeper cover are the two fielders out on the boundary for Akhil Reddy. Well, he's got slip in place as well, Akhil Reddy. So very strong offside field for Akhil Reddy. Tall bot, tall bowler will get some extra bounce. Sohan looking to cut that one, gets beaten. That's a dot ball to start off. Hitting that deck hard on that occasion, Akhil Reddy. That's the right thing to do. But if he provides the width, Sohan Lath will latch on to that one. Cut away, but this time doesn't find the gap. Straight to point fielder. That's a dot ball. As we have seen, Sohan Lath very strong on the offside. He likes the width, likes to cut the ball. Short wide. Sohan Lath got hard after that one. Misses, but umpire says it's a wide ball. This is not good from Akil Reddy. He need he needs to ball much closer when bowling to Sohan Lath. This is much better. Channel full on the stumps, cramping the batter for room on that occasion. Sohan Lath does well to get his bat down in time, but it's a dot ball. Shot wide, cut away, but there's a fielder behind who lets the ball go through straight between his hands. Well, that was struck very firmly by Sohan Lath, but could have been stopped in the deep. Fielder makes a mess out of that one. He was well placed to cut that sort of shots, but he makes a mess. That's a boundary. Sohan Lath now moves to 14 with that. Well, way outside off stump. That's been given as wide by the umpire. Well, the bowlers need to make an adjustment. They need to bowl slightly closer than what they are bowling at the moment. They are providing plenty of width, which is helping the batters. This is much better. Sohan Lath played that well as well. Played off the back foot with the soft hands and threw for couple of runs. A slight misfield. Once again, the deep fielder there, the culprit in the sweeper cover region. So there is a change in field. Now the slip is out and it's in the position of cover point. They've got deep point. Well, this time full attacking the stumps. Sohanla does well. Just works it away on the onside for a single. So 9 runs coming off that one. 26 without any loss after 3. Introduction in the bowling attack. Now Chaitanya with the ball. Well, he's been greeted with a boundary. Well, plenty of width on the offside, and Sohan Lath likes the width, as I said, quickly latches onto one and beautifully lifts it over point for a boundary. One bounce, four it is. No chance for the sweeper cover fielder to cut that one off. A poor start from Chaitanya. 114 matches for Chaitanya. 111 wickets. Economy just over 6.09. Best figures of 5 for 21. He's a very good bowler, so he'll make the adjustment. Tall bowler as well, Chaitanya. Very full outside off stump. Sohanla there on the drive gets beaten. Huge appeal for the caught behind. Well, a very animated appeal as well from the wicketkeeper, but no support whatsoever from the fielders. That's been given not out. 30 without any loss. Falcons after 3.2. They got the start that they were after, but both these batters need to continue on. A boundary in a over will do it nicely for them. Once again, with played too far from his body on that occasion, Sohan Lath. It was in the air for a very long time. That ball almost carrying to that point fielder who dived forward to get that one but couldn't. That's a dot ball. Sohan Lath, he needs to be mighty careful of that one as well. He's not someone who strides into the ball, so needs to play under his eye line as well. Another wide from Chaitanya there. Well, he's bowling a very wayward channel. Is conceded single so far in this over. Chaitanya played on the rise, but straight to the short point fielder, who does exceedingly well, keeps the batter to not. Four balls into the over, and Chaitanya conceded six so far. Can he close out the over nicely? Well, that's been given wide, way outside off stump. Well, the bowlers, they need to change their plans. They need to ball little closer to the body, just outside off stump. But at the moment, as the previous team did, Falcons failing to ball full into the wicket. Well, that's a good delivery from Chaitanya, just inside that wide line on the offside. Batsman they're pleading with the umpire for wide, but the umpire thinks otherwise. So last ball of the over. Well, looking to play on the front foot this time, gets beaten on the outside edge. That's a dot ball to close out the over. A good comeback from Chaitanya. In fact, he has a ball left in this over. Chaitanya there. Only 7 runs so far of the over. Change in the bowling attack. So Pawan now into the attack. So after 4 overs, 38 without any loss. Change in the bowling attack. Now spinner inside the power play for the game changers as well. Pawan with the ball in hand. Left arm orthodox spinner Pawan starts off with a very full delivery. In fact, starts off with a low full toss. It's couple of runs for Sohan Lat down to long off. 41 matches for Pawan, 37 wickets. Economy very good, 5.61. Best figures of 5 for 20 for Pawan. His action is very similar to what Ravindra Jadeja's is. Very full delivery just outside off stump. Sohan Lat looking to go over extra covers on that occasion gets beaten. Pawan, he's got an action like Jadeja. He likes to get through his overs quickly like Jadeja as well. So plenty of resemblance to Ravindra Jadeja. Pawan bowls the ball with a very flat trajectory as well. Heavily relies on his liner length. Doesn't spin the ball as much, but bowls very accurately. Once again, on a length, attacking the stumps, punched off the back foot straight to the short cover. That's fourth dot in a trot. Well, Pawan there, he's bowled five balls in a flash in this over. Last ball of the over. Well, a huge appeal and given. Well, that was very full on the pads. Umpire had a good thought and gives it out. Sohan Lad there mighty disappointed with the decision, but he has to walk back when given on the field. Well, a wicket coming at the very last ball of the fifth over. 40 for the loss of one. Falcons. They lose their first, and the game changers draw first blood in this all important semi final and gets rid of a very dangerous batter, Sohan Lat. 40 for the loss of one after 5 overs. New batter in is Ashish Malik in at number 3 for Falcons. Another change in the bowling attack. Chaitanya with his right arm off break. More spin in the power play for the game changers. This will be the last over of the power play. Well, starts off with a short delivery, pulled away off the back foot. There's no one there in the deep or inside the circle in the mid wicket. They're looking to come back for the third run. Well, batter there slipped. That would have been an easy run out there, but the throw was very wide of that field bowler who fails to collect the ball. That will be couple of runs. In fact, 3 runs for Chandan, but that was a very risky third one. Marking your guard is now Ashish Malik. 172 matches for Ashish Malik. 1740 runs, averaging 14.75. Strike rate 117.41 for Ashish Malik, who's in at number 3. Well, played off the back foot, but straight to that point fielder. That's a dot ball. Once again into the surface, bowling very quick between the wicket. Well, hits it just wide of that cover fielder. Long off fielder will cut that off, but it will be couple of runs for Ashish Malik to get himself off the mark. A very good, stylish looking, my stylish batter Ashish Malik. This is good from game changers. Well, once again, driven on the up. This time the ball will go all the way. Yes, no, in fact, it will be cut down last at the very last moment. Excellent piece of work there in the deep to keep the ball inside the boundary skirting. So it will be couple of runs for Falcons. So 7 runs coming off that one after 6 overs. Falcons 47 for the loss of one. Power play done and dusted. Now field will be well spread out after the power play. Chaitanya, he was taken off from the attack after that first over, comes back after change of end, starts off with a very full delivery driven on the up, all along the carpet, down to long on for a single. Now strike is with Akash Pahwa and Deepti Ranjan out in the center for Falcons. Both the batters. Well, that's a wide way outside off stump. That's a poor delivery from Chaitanya. He should be bowling more stump to stump. Let the batter play with the straight bat. There's always a chance of an LBW if bowling stump to stump. Chaitanya, he is a tall bowler, can abstract extra bounce from the surface. He's quick enough to trouble the batter as well with the short one. Well, this time opts to ball a very full delivery. A flashy looking shot from Akash, but of no use as he gets no connection with the ball. That's a dot ball. Well, match well in play. Both the teams showing good contendership to win this match. Falcons scoring 73, but they have lost 3 wickets on the way. So 83 more needed of 52 deliveries. This is anybody's match from here on. Another wide, way outside off stump. I don't know what exactly Chaitanya is trying to do, but looks like he's trying to stay away from the hitting arc of the batter. In the process, up until now, he's bowling too many wides. That's the second one of the over. He can afford to bowl much closer. He should test the ball batter with the short one as well. He's got a good bumper as well. Chaitanya. This time in the air, sweeper cover fielder coming underneath. That ball just lands before him. A misfield there. Batter, fielder in the deep committing for the catch. Was blinded in the end as that ball lands exactly in front. Full marks for the effort there. But it will be couple of runs for Akash, who's living dangerously at the moment. As soon as he saw the ball pitched up, he went for a shot over extra cover, looking to lift it inside out. In the end, only getting it out of the toe. Ball doesn't carrying to the sweeper cover as well. This time hit on the up, just wide of long off. They'll settle in with a single on that occasion. Very good fielding there in the long off region. So two balls remaining in this over so far. 6 runs of the over now. Still two deliveries to be ball. 77 for the loss of three. Well drilled all along the carpet. It will be cut off by the long on fielder. Again couple of runs for Deepti Ranjan. So 8 now of the over. A delivery to be bowled and last ball of the over. Another good looking shot, but it will not go all the way. It will be a couple of runs to close out the over. A good over for the batting team as they get 10 of it. Falcons, after 11 overs, 81 for the loss of 3. They still need 75 more in 48 deliveries. 75 needed of 48. FB now back into the attack. After very expensive first over, FB was taken off. He went for 12 in his first over. Bowled the second over of the innings. Now once again back into the attack to bowl the 12th. Well hit hard, but long on fielder will cut that off. Well. A misfield in the deep. That should have been only a single. Instead, it's a boundary. In fact, it's a two-run, couple of runs for Akash. He'll take it. Akash moves to 10. 10 of 13 deliveries. Once again swinged away. But straight to the deep fielder in the mid wicket, so it will only be a single. Runs not coming thick and fast for the Falcons, but still aerial fielder there in the deep. That ball goes over his head. It's a one bounce four that looked as if it landed outside that boundary skirtings, but umpire gives it as a four. That's the longest part of the boundary. Vimal Yadav, he said, enough is enough. I'll have some of that one. Slightly over pitch from FB, and he travels there on that occasion. He needs to ball at that 4 to 6 minute mark. Cut away this time. Sipakova fielder will cut that off. So it will only be a single. And a good over for the batting team up until now. They have got 8 runs of the over, 2 deliveries still remaining. Well, Akash, they're going for the big shot. Fielder there in the deep came in charging, but that ball was always going behind him. That ball went for a 6. What a shot that was from Akash, came right off the screws. Once again, touch fuller in terms of length, and that's enough for the right hander. Akash Pahwa, who needs no second invitation. That's a very big hit in the context of game that will uplift the spirits of Falcons. Last ball of the over. A low full toss looking for another biggie. This time came right off the toe end and it's been taken in the deep. Well, Akash looking to repeat the previous shot, but this time he gets it right off the toe and taken in the deep. 6 and an out. A very a very soft dismissal. Chitty there in the deep takes a very good catch. We are halfway through in the chase. In fact, we are more than halfway through in the chase after 12 overs. PFH Falcons 95 for the loss of 4. 61 needed of 42. But the set batter Pawan is out. Is there a twist in tail? New batter in Ishobit. In at number 6 for Falcons, 133 matches for Shobit, 1970 runs, averaging over 90. Strike rate very healthy, 114.67 for Shobit. Well, that's a beautiful shot from Akash. No stopping that one in the outfield. That's raced away like a tracer bullet. 99 is up for Falcons with that boundary. Well, Akhil Reddy started off with a dart, but now drifting on the pads of the right-hander, who beautifully clips it away, gets it right in between. Short square leg at short fine. No point chasing that ball. So it's a boundary for Falcons. They are now moving along nicely. Once again on the pads, a result will be a very similar one. Once again, beautifully clipped away, and it will find the fence as well. That's a back to back boundary. It's an action replay of the previous one, but this time it was a low full toss. Akhil Reddy looking for that pinpoint Yorker, but in the process, he drifts on down the pads, and these are easy pickings for Akash. The batter of the caliber of Akash won't miss out. Well, there's a change in field, a force change. Now fine leg drops back. A very full ball. Akash drives it up on the up, but a non-striker does well in his follow through. Stops the ball, and that's a dot ball. This is a good matchup. Akhil Reddy against Akash. No one taking a step back. Drives, gets it off the bottom. A misfield in the point region, but excellent backup there from the sweeper cover region. Keeps the batter to one. Sweeper cover fielder there does exceedingly well. He was well aware that it could have been a misfielding. Anticipated to that one very nicely. Came in sharply. Shobit, now marking your guard, will face the final ball of the over. 9 runs of the over. Shobit looking to cut, but that was a full delivery. Should have been driving at that one. That's a dot ball, very close to that off stump as well, that delivery. So 9 runs coming off the 13th over. 104 for the loss of 4. Falcons after 13. Another 52 required in 36 deliveries at the required rate of 8.67. Chaitanya now with the ball. 2 overs, 22 for none for Chaitanya so far. He'll continue into his third over now. He's been expensive so far. Chaitanya starts off with a full delivery that's been trashed straight as an arrow. No chance for Chaitanya in his follow through to catch that one. What a shot that was from Akash. Akash now getting in the mood. He's got third boundary in a timeline of 5 deliveries. This is excellent stuff from Akash. He's turning on the things. He's turning on the heat for the Falcons. This time short way outside off stump. That's been given wide by the umpire. That's poor from Chaitanya. He balled very full delivery in the previous one. Now went short and wide. Completely opposite to what he did in the previous one. Well, that's a much better delivery. Just on a good length and coming in with the angle. Well, Akash looking to play very late at that ball gets beaten. That's a dot ball. 109 for 4 after 13.2. 47 needed in 34 deliveries. This is anybody's game from here on. Both the team playing along nicely. Well, Akash looking for a big slog, misses out. A very straight delivery, and you miss, I hit, says Chaitanya. Gets rid of Akash. Well, Falcons were moving along nicely. Akash was looking good, but now he has to walk back. Fifth one down. Akash played well for his 29, but now walking back to the sheds. Fifth one down for Falcons as half of the team dismissed. 109 on the board, still 47 needed in 33. New batter in is Nikhil. In at number 7 for Falcons. Chaitanya still will be up. Looked for that pinpoint Yorker. Does does ball that delivery nicely, but Nikhil got his bat down in time and gets off the mark with that single. 96 matches for Nikhil, 940 runs, averaging just under 19. Very healthy strike rate, almost 120 for Nikhil. With that single, score moves to 110. 46 needed of 32 deliveries, 5 wickets in the hand. This is anybody's game. Match well in balance. Full attacking the stumps. Chaitanya once again. Well, Shobit there gets an inside half of the bat. Ball moves into the mid wicket region and he'll get himself off the mark with that singles. So, two new batters out in the center for Falcons. So, it's completely different ball game when two new batters are at the crease. This is a very good opportunity for game changers to get another wicket here. If they get one here, they will be ahead in this game. Well, that's it on the up, and it will be a single down to long off. 8 runs and a priceless wicket of Akash coming in that over. After 14 overs, 112 for the loss of 5. 44 more needed in 30. Pawan to bowl out into his fourth over. Starts off with a full toss. Wicket keeper failing to collect that one, and that ball raced away to a boundary. That's a poor glove work there behind the timber. Well, that could have been stopped, but the wicketkeeper fails to collect that one. That's a boundary, a freebie for Falcons. They'll be delighted with that one. Pawan is bowled exceedingly well. 3.1 over 16 for 2 into his last over. Well, that's a very good delivery. Once again, the wicketkeeper fails to collect the ball. That's racing away in the third man region and will hit the fence. This time, it looked like it was an outside edge there, a big deflection. A wicketkeeper could not do much about that one. A sharp turn from Pawan. Nikhil looking to lift it over extra cover. Gets a very thick outside edge. A deflection. Beats the short third towards his left. So there's a change in the field. Fine leg fielder now brought into short third. So three fielders there. Point, gully and short third. This time he looks to go over extra cover, but it's straight in the hands of the fielder there. Right at the edge. Chaitanya, the fielder there, safe as you like, takes a very good catch. Well, another batter looking good now walks back as sixth one bites the dust. 120 for 6. 36 needed of 27 deliveries, 4 wickets in the tank. New batter in is Tarun Shukla. He is in at number 8. Well, guides that one in the third man region looking for quick single, but Shobhit from the non-striker sends him back. That's a dot ball. 29 matches for Tarun, 271 runs, averaging just under 12. Strike rate 113.39 for Tarun Shukla. He is a more than handy batter down the order for Falcons. Can bat, punches one down to long on for a single. Good over so far from Pawan. Last ball of the over. 9 runs and a wicket so far of the over. Shobit defends it off the front foot straight back to the bowler in his follow through. So 9 runs and a wicket of Akash coming in that over. 121 for the loss of 6 after 15. PFH Falcons now 35 needed of 24 deliveries. Required rate 8.75. Chaitanya to bowl out. 3.1 over, 17 for 1 so far for Chaitanya. Well, once again, a quick delivery, firing it in. Tarun just looking to rotate the strike, just looking to play at that one. Gets beaten. Back to back dot deliveries to start off the over. Well, now pressure on the Falcons batters. 35 needed of 22. 9.5 now required rate. That is what the two dot balls done have done. Well, this time beautifully square drives looking for that sharp single, and that's been given. Well, Shobit there was itching to get on the strike there. In the process, has to lose his wicket. A good sharp glove work by D9 and a sharp throw from the gully fielder to get rid of Shobit. Santosh, the fielder, and Nanda Kishore, the wicket keeper, who does exceedingly well to get rid of Shobit. Seventh one down now. PFH Falcons now losing their plot in the semi-final right at the end. What a turnaround this has been for the game changers. The thing that the game changers managed exceedingly well. New batter in is Kartikesh. Well, that looked full and straight, and that's a pretty easy decision for the umpire who never hesitates before raising his finger. Well, the batter there not happy with the decision, but that was pretty adjacent, plumb in front. That ball was crashing into middle and leg. Well, he planted his front look forward and he was trapped well in front. That's a beauty from the bowler Chaitanya to get rid of Kartikesh at the very first ball. Now eighth one down. Well. Falcons are losing their plot. They're falling like four pins now. Throughout the innings, they have kept on losing the wickets on regular intervals. That is the reason why, despite of scoring good amount of runs, they are still behind in this game as they need 35 of 20 more. Only two wickets in the tank. New batter in is Akash Mehta. Is in at number 10 for Falcons. Will be facing Chaitanya, whose tail will be up. He's got two wickets in this very over, and he's on a hat trick now. Hat trick ball that was full but drifting down the leg. Well, will they look for the second run? No, they're happy with that single. Well, in fact, it's been given as wide. So wide plus one, two extras for Falcons. It looked as if it might have touched the pads of the batter, but umpire thinks otherwise. He gives it a wide. Umpire there having a better view. Gets it spot on. Gets it right. So still the hat trick ball is on. But Tarun Shukla now on strike to face that hat trick ball. Chaitanya is ball tight in his 3 overs. Now getting the rewards in his final over. Well, that's a very full delivery. A Yorker outside off stump from the spinner. Tarun looks to drive but gets beaten. This is excellent stuff from the game changers. They have changed the game completely in last couple of overs. Once again drives, but the ball goes nowhere there. That's a dot ball as super over. 2 runs and 2 wickets coming off the 16th over by Chaitanya. PFH Falcons 123 for the loss of 8. Need 33 more. in last 3 overs. Well, the required rate has now gone up to 11. Akil Reddy now to bowl out. 3 overs, 23 for none for Akil Reddy now into his 4th over. Will bowl the 17th over. 33 needed of 18. Falcons need to do something in this over. Well, that's a poor delivery. Trying to attack the stumps. In the process, drifts one on the pads, and Mehta, Akash Mehta gets off the mark with a boundary. Beautifully clips it over square leg for a boundary. That square leg fielder was brought inside the circle, and the batter does exceedingly well to get it over that infield for a boundary. Change in the field now. Square legs drop back, and short third comes up after that boundary. Well, that's drifted down the leg. White ball signal by the umpire. Score moves to 128 with that. 28 needed in 17. This is anybody's game. A boundary here and there will get Falcons. In fact, Falcons back in the game. Well, hit away on the onside. They are looking for the second run. It's a very tight call. Throw is not the best. Wide and not flat enough, not quick enough there. So it was a easy two for these two. Well, that's a good over so far. Once again on the pads, looking to clip, but he's got the fielder behind. Strike is back with the lefty Tarun Shukla. So the field changes completely for the left-hander. 25 needed of 15 delivery. It's not an impossible task. It's just that Falcons have lost their eight wickets. Well, that's beautifully squared Raven straight to the back foot point fielder who does exceedingly well and keeps the batter to one. This match is well and truly alive, and it's in balance for both the teams. Anybody's team. Well, there's a chance of a run out. Wicketkeeper hits it, but the fielder came in there. They will run a bye. Well, that's a very brave running from the Falcons. That ball never went away from the wicketkeeper, who fails to collect it at once. They have ran a bye. This is brave running, brave cricket from Falcons. Score moves to 133. 133 for 8. Well, that's been walked away. There's a fielder behind who does exceedingly well to get that ball back inside. Well, that's been given one shot. So it will be. They have ran three for that, but one shot given by the umpire. So only 2 runs will be counted on that one. After 17 overs, 135 for 8. 21 needed of 12 deliveries at the required rate of 10.5. Well, Lots of twists and turns, ups and lows in this match so far. It's still not done and dusted. Last 2 overs. We are down to final 2 overs. 21 needed. Well, still anybody's game. Still anybody's game. What a match we had here at One Champion. In One Champion Elite Season 43. This is the all important semi final match. कौन है बॉलर? A very late introduction in the bowling attack. Akhil now introduced into the attack to bowl the over. 337 matches for Akhil, 184 wickets, economy 8.70, best figures of 4 for 5. Is a very good bowler, but introduction in the final 2 overs in the attack. This is not an ideal thing and a good thing to do, but they have done it. Well, a single to start off the over, which brings the left-hander Tarun Shukla back on strike. 4 of 9 deliveries for Tarun Shukla, whereas 7 of 5 for Akash Mehta. Change of angle against the right-hander for Akil. He's coming over the wicket for the right-hander. Low full toss, hit away down to mid-wicket fielder. There's a misfield in the deep. Will allow the batters come back for the second run. Well, the pressure was on. That 138 for 8 now. 18 needed of 10. What a ball that was. Very slow through the air, but just outside that wide line. Well, the thinking was there from Akil on that occasion. Completely took the pace off, invited the batter to go for the big shot, trying to stay away from the hitting arc as well, trying to draw the batter wide of the stumps. Well, that's a beauty from Akil. Once again, very slow through the air. Batter early into the shot gets beaten. Well, this is very brave bowling from Akil. Is bowling slow and full, not offering any pace to work with. This time it was a pace delivery, on pace delivery, and that's been given caught behind. Well, Tarun Shukla slashes hard at that one, only manages to get a very thick outside edge, and an excellent take behind the timber by Nandakishore Neely. Well, the ninth one goes down for the Falcons. 139 for 9, 17 still needed in 8 deliveries. Akith Hadani will be the last man standing in for Falcons. He's in at number 11. So only one wicket in the tank for the Falcons. They need 17 in 8 deliveries. Once again, a quicker one. This time, a very thick outside edge. That ball will go past the short third fielder and hits the fence. Well. There are two other sides of a quicker one. In the previous delivery, he got a very thin outside edge and a catch behind the stumps. On this one, a very thick outside edge gets past the short third for a boundary. This time slow through the air, completely taking the pace off that ball. Played off the back foot. It will be a single to close out the over, an eventful over. 9 runs and a wicket coming off that one. Now 12 needed of last over. 12 needed of 6. Still the match can go anyway. A boundary here and there will uplift the spirits of Falcons. Whereas on the other hand, the game changers, they are only a wicket away. Well, game changers should get over the line from here on. They are in a better position to win this match, but do not count the Falcons off because 12 in a final over is not a big ask, not a tough ask. A boundary here will be a goal for them. A boundary will put the pressure back on the bowling team. Another introduction in the bowling attack. This is a very brave tactic. Going with the spinner, and he'll be bowling his first over, Santosh, as well. He'll be bowling the final over, and this will be the first over that he'll be bowling in this match. That's a very brave call. Well, that's a grave improvisation. Batter there clearly picking the field. He moved early towards his off stump and got in a very good position to play that ball in the fine leg. No one there inside or outside the circle. So it's a boundary. As I said, a boundary here will once again put the pressure back on the bowling team. Yes, it did. Well, they were having a short mid wicket instead of fine leg fielder. So boundary going in that region immediately makes a change. Now a short fine fielder in the fine leg region. Well, this time the batter comes down the track. That ball never carried to the cover fielder. A sharp throw from the cover region and he hits the timber. Akhil Tadani coming back for the second run was well short of his crease. Well, he's having a word with the official, but that was a clean out. A hit from the covers. Chaitanya, the man who gets that throw spot on, and that's curtains for Akhil Tadani. He was well short of that match. What a match we had, but it's the game changers who gets over the line. But we have to give it up to the Falcons as well. They played their heart out. What a match we had. One champion is well known for such kind of encounters. It was the all important semi final of One Champion Elite Season 43. PFH Falcons taking on the Game Changers. Match summary: Game Changers winning the toss, opting to bat first, posting 155 for the loss of 4. Heavy contribution at the top of the order: 73 for Pawan, 37 for RM56. 18 handy contribution, handy 18 from Akhil Reddy as well. Then a late order 8 from the captain D9. In reply, PFH Falcons getting bundled out for 149. Soham Lath played well for his 24. Ashish Malik good looked for his runner ball 10. Deep played well for his 14. Akash played exceedingly well for his 29, but no real contribution, no big contribution from anyone, hence falling short.